Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Kickstarter in the current year. And today I'm going to do another little bit of a double feature as we're going to be looking at projects focusing on kids because, well, we can all agree that kids are the future. And the way we know that is that we can all recognize that the future is completely fucked, and we can also recognize that the kids are equally fucked, ergo you can see the parallels, they are in fact the future. So there's no surprise that if you go on Kickstarter, you will find a lot of projects on there focusing on kids and preparing them for the future in various ways. They try to be very bright and happy about it. I'm not. To really ease us into this whole thing, the first project we're going to look at is going to be a simpler one. It doesn't actually have a video, but it's a doozy either way. It's called Junior Java, a fun and wholesome coffee brand for kids. That's right. Coffee for kids. Introducing Junior Java, the coffee-inspired beverage designed exclusively for kids. Our range of drinks is caffeine-free. Okay, so there's the thank goodness there's no caffeine in it. We're on a mission to bring Junior Java to life. A line of playful, wholesome, and caffeine-free drinks designed to let kids in on the coffee culture in a fun and safe way. Let them in on the coffee culture. That's a weird phrase. It sounds to me like a sort of softer version of get them started early. Like, what? Like, I know there's a lot of moral panic that goes around, which is like, is this a slippery slope leading to this other thing? What about this? Does that lead to this? Is a certain product going to eventually lead down to them using a different product, you know? And for the most part, I'm like, that's all just moral panic. But what do you do when someone makes a project where they're literally saying that part out loud, where they straight up say, yeah, this is designed to ease the kids into drinking coffee when they're adults? I'm saying this as someone who drinks coffee. You kind of don't want to go down the path of drinking coffee. It's not actually good for you. It doesn't actually boost your energy at all. It's a lot of it is myth, and a lot of it is actually just straight up you having to drink coffee to have energy because you started to drink coffee in the first place. It's not something you want to get yourself into as a freaking toddler. Another thing I want to make perfectly clear, I call myself someone who drinks coffee. I did not call myself a coffee drinker. The person who made this project is a coffee drinker. I'm a person who drinks coffee. The difference is that people who drink coffee are normal functioning members of society that are like capable of having a little sip and then recognizing that maybe it's not the best thing, and then they just move on with their life. Coffee drinkers are feral animals and should be all put down. On a slightly lighter note, our second project is instead going to be tackling how children need to adapt to an uncertain, AI-filled, robot-driven, corporate greed future. So, get them while they're young.
Hi, my name is Stephen, and I'm a published author and illustrator and a proud house husband of 2. Like many parents, my wife and I wanted to prepare our children for the future, and as we've seen in recent times, a future that will increasingly center around new and emerging technology, such as AI.
I haven't even gotten really into the project, but could you speak up a little bit, or maybe turn down the music? Throughout this entire video, the volume of the man speaking never goes up. The music consistently gets more intense and louder. I don't know how you make a project like this and not catch that as an issue.
Our first book is titled The ABCs of AI, which I co-authored with my 4-year-old daughter, Josephine, and is illustrated in part by myself and in part by AI. It's a story about exploring technology via literacy. Josie and her little brother Frankie learn more about what these tools can do, and they use it to recite the alphabet.
So, a couple of things. First off, they describe this book as being aimed for children ages 2 to 10 in the description, right? Meaning that for a lot of kids that are going to be using this book, apparently, like he just said, they're learning to recite the alphabet. They're learning to read through using this book. And am I the only person on the fucking planet seeing the issues with helping them learn to read through AI concepts, that's going to lead to some fucked understanding of reality, for one, and it's not going to be that simple to just teach a kid simultaneously how to read and understand, like, futuristic AI concepts. Like, a 2-year-old toddler has no problems understanding that A stands for apple and B stands for ball, because that kid already knows what an apple is and what a ball is. They have the capacity to understand those simple concepts. If you're instead trying to teach them that A stands for artificial intelligence, and then you spend 30 minutes explaining to them vaguely what that is, and they still don't fucking get it because they're 2 years old, and then B stands for big data, and by the time you explain to them what that's supposed to mean, they have no idea what the letter A is anymore, this is stupid. Remember, little Timmy, G stands for goat, H stands for hand, I stands for the imminent and inevitable collapse of the world economy.
We require support for high quality printing and to meet minimum order quantities. The success of this book will pave the way for future projects. Next year, we hope to release more books inspired by the questions and the experiences of our own children along the themes we talked about, and you can learn more about what we have in store on our website, where you can subscribe for updates.
You're going to release like a series of kids' books, and I see you have books that are talking about birds and cats, and yet your first choice was AI? That doesn't seem like a reasonable step, but sure. And you know, I don't want to be that guy. I do not want to be that guy on YouTube, but there's something to be said about stereotypes when you have the Chinese man telling you that you should teach your 2-year-old STEM skills as soon as possible and explain to them how they're supposed to fit into the workforce 30 years from now. All I'm saying, there's something to comment on. You know, the project overall is all very nicely made, but of course, the project itself, because it concerns AI, it utilizes AI. You know, it specifically says that it uses Midjourney AI-generated images, for each letter. You know, that can get fucked. I hate Midjourney. I hate all these image generation pieces of shit. They're all essentially stealing art, and I really hope that eventually some kind of class action lawsuit manages to go through and all of it goes down, because I really hate AI and robots, and all of them can fucking burn. David Cage can get fucked in the ass. There's also this one part that's it's designed to be like a really nice and sweet thing, and it's like, oh, we're doing a little bit of charity and stuff, but reading this actually genuinely kind of upset me. This is the carbon neutral, purpose driven, and giving back section. 1% of all books sold will be given to libraries and schools. You know what? That's actually completely fine. I accept that one. 1% of all books sold, you get, for 100 books you sell, one of them is going to be going to like a public school or library. Cool. Very good. That's fine. 1% of profits to carbon neutral projects. 1% of profits go to Bears of Hope. No free support for families who experience the loss of their baby. You know, it's sad. It's tugs at the heartstrings. 1% of profits to the Gidget Foundation supports families suffering emotional distress during pregnancy and early parenting. PNDA et al. Yeah, these are all good things. You know, charities. That's all good. All these where the money is going is good. But the fact that it's 1% of profits it's for each of these things is kind of a slap in the fucking face. If this is going to be something that is going to sway you towards supporting this project, please don't, and instead just donate to those charities directly. You can donate a whole lot more than 1% of the cost of one of these books. This is kind of really scummy to me. I don't think it's intentionally scummy. I think they really do want to help these charities, but they haven't really caught on to the fact that 1% is going to be such a stupidly small amount of money compared to how much they're going to be making. Because this isn't 1% of income, it's 1% of profits, meaning that 96% of profits are going to be directly going to them personally. 1% versus 96%, you kind of see the discrepancy when you put the numbers like that, don't you? There was also this other project I saw, and I'll fully admit that project was made significantly worse. The video was poorly edited. There were like parts of the video where certain like graphics were overlapping, and it's this really annoying corporate art style that I hate. But at the same time, I didn't want to cover that project because at least that project was sufficiently bleak, where it was talking about how all of us will eventually lose our jobs and like how AI isn't actually that great of a thing. However, we should prepare our kids for dealing with that. You know what? Fair enough. This project, however, is talking about like this weird coexistence and co-prosperity using AI, and I cannot stand for that. And the most upsetting part about these two projects is the fact that this one is getting funded and the other one isn't. Fuck. That's going to be doing it for this video, but to not end on such a horrible note, I'm going to now be reading the AI-generated names on the coffee cups in the first project, because of course the header image was AI-generated, and it's wonderful as usual. Try our new cockle corral. It's got insert vartis. How about some Camel cabassel? Ooh, or some chulet cats. Cochine capubarti. Subifi. Or some Strabor siesta. Really couldn't just not put text in the image, could you?